Good to go. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Local Liquor Control Commission to order on January 27th, 2026 at 7 p.m. We're going to go ahead and do a roll call. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, we started a couple of minutes late.
Roll call. You want me to do it or you?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Roll call. Commissioner King,
Present.
Commissioner Weiss,
Present.
Commissioner Wagner,
Present.
President Patrick,
Here.
and I am here. We also
Saw
have
that too.
our village attorney, Bethany
Nice job.
Nystrom, and Julie Settles, our staff liaison.
Okay, thank you. So we will go ahead and move forward with public comments on agenda items.
Seeing none?
Okay, seeing none. Public comments on non-agenda items. There are none. We go ahead and move forward to item 4A, the approval of minutes from special meeting on December 23rd, 2025. Do I have a motion for the approval of minutes?
So move.
Okay. Commissioner Wagner, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner King, thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
President Patrick,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
and I also vote yes.
Okay, item 5, are there any amendments to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and move forward to 6A, discussion of monthly reports, December reports from 2025. Commissioner DiTomaso.
Well, we're attaching these monthly, and we needed a place on the agenda in case we needed to discuss something. So does anybody wish to discuss any of the reports that I forwarded to everybody?
No.
No? Okay,
All right.
let's move on.
Moving along to new business, 7A, a discussion on agreed order between the Village of Villa Park and Cherie Janvey LLC DBA, or doing business as U.S. Liquor Park, 609 West North Avenue. Commissioner DiTomaso.
Right, so this establishment was cited by the police department for selling underage liquor to an underage person. With the help of our village attorney, we pursued the prosecution, and I'll let Bethany explain what happened.
Yes, so the village prepared a charges and specifications that listed out the village's complaint signed by the police chief. That was served upon the business, the license holder, and it was scheduled for a liquor commission disciplinary hearing. And prior to that hearing, the licensee and the village entered into a settlement agreement, and the signed and agreed order that was approved by the liquor commissioner and executed as well. And the fine, it was an agreement to pay a fine of $500.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
All right, moving along, we'll go to 7B, the discussion of liquor license renewals.
As of tonight, we will have all of the renewals done, and as well as the license changes. I hope to have them all done tonight. We have one left, and that's Standard Media, our next item, and they're going to be moving to a non-gaming license. We did lose one, and that is Josephine's. They decided as of the end of the year to not pursue business further. So we did lose that license, and the changes have been made up till now with the village board and the ordinances for the licenses. So our next agenda item, which is to approve a recommendation to the village board to approve the classification change for Standard Meadery, and it's moving them from a AA to a quad A. And again, the only difference is they're no longer going to have a gaming-capable license. So, can we get a motion for that?
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, Commissioner King, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Roll call.
Commissioner Weiss, I'm sorry, really quick, is there any further discussion on that?
No.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner King,
Aye.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
President Patrick,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
Okay, moving along to item 7D, the discussion of license change requests from Mortadelli.
We have the owner of Mortadelli here, Mary Ann DeLulio. She has requested to change her license to a full pour. If you want to come up to the podium and...
So, I was at the meeting a few weeks ago, and I think there was just a little bit of confusion as to the steps that needed to be taken, so that's why I'm here again. But, I had presented to you guys exactly what I was wanting to do, going from, the license that I have to a full pour, considering I'm a restaurant and, I have a bar, so it would just benefit us all the way around in our community and business-wise, so, I guess these are the steps in order to get in front of the
Yes.
board.
I'm curious, you went in front of the board, I think, March 10th last year,
I don't know the exact date.
approximately?
Right before, yeah, I believe so, and then I was we didn't have, I guess, the liquor commission how it is now, so, at that time, I was told, a couple different things. Wait till the new board took seat, let's get like a consensus for about 2 weeks, so.
There was a
it's been a
formal board
while.
vote, as I recall.
At that time, I did not get approval. We wanted to, there was
Right,
a
but-
couple different suggestions. I don't know if, that's what I was going for, but I don't remember exactly how it all panned out, but it was a lot of confusion just because, everybody was changing. All the seats were changing, so I was kind of told to wait until after everything changed and then come back. So I waited a while. I didn't come right back, so I don't know exactly what in March.
They, as I recall, they voted 5-2 against.
Okay, yes, you're right.
Six
Yeah,
to
you're
1 against.
correct, and that's when I was told wait until,
Okay.
everybody takes seat and then come back again.
So what's different?
On my behalf,
Yeah.
there's nothing different on my behalf. I'm still Mortadelli. I have a bar, I have a deli, I'm a full-service restaurant. The things that have changed were, one of the trustees Jack Kozar wanted me to wait till the new board took seat. Another trustee asked if we could do like a consensus to see what, the community thought about it. So there was just a few different things that we were kind of waiting on, and I didn't come right away back for it, just because I felt like everyone needed to get in their place and get situated, and now it's time.
So you're a deli. Are you a deli that serves alcohol, or are you a deli and then a bar?
I wouldn't say I'm just a deli, though. I'm a
So it's one
full-service
business.
restaurant. Correct. It's a full-service restaurant.
Okay, so it is, okay.
Oh, yes. I
Well,
I
'cause-
serve hot food, I serve soup, I serve cold food. It's not just like a Subway, you know what I mean?
No, I understand. And the reason that I ask is because the license you have now is not a restaurant license. And I don't know how that was overlooked, but that would be something that we would probably be looking to clear up, one way or the other.
So being a restaurant license I don't know what the difference would be, I guess. This is just the license that was issued to me when I opened
Right.
up Mortadelli. And then after we opened up Mortadelli, almost a year, not a full year later, but maybe, I don't know, 8 months later, 6 months later, right around that time frame, the business next door to us,
Vacated, yeah.
vacated, so we were able to take over. And once we did that, we followed all the steps to making the business one, and we put a bar on that side, so we were able to expand our business.
Right,
So at that time, we only had beer and wine,
yes.
because we didn't expect to have, double the size. So once we were able to have double the size, then our business plan changed, obviously.
Sure.
So at that point, that's when I came in for a little while after we had been open, I came in for a full pour.
Okay. So,
But, so as far as it being a restaurant or license or not a restaurant license, I don't know, you know what I mean? And a lot of the licenses have changed from the time I received my original liquor license to now. There's been added license, so I don't know why I wouldn't have been issued a restaurant license, or if that's where I should have been under, but.
Commissioner King?
Yes, I'm looking at the application you submitted to the village, and the floor plan shows that it's basically a restaurant. There's an eat-up counter on that side, so not really a bar, but I think that it would be more appropriate for Mortadeli to have a restaurant liquor license as opposed to a tavern license.
Okay, so yeah, I just didn't know what the difference were, but correct. I also have a lounge area that's in the front with low tables that you can sit and eat at in the bar as well.
So to follow up off of Tom's, then I guess the question I would be curious is the difference then between a restaurant license and the tavern license. In other words, it sounds like full pour, right, is sort of the objective here.
It is.
So under a restaurant license, is that part of that license, I guess? In other words, would that
It could
honor
go-
that request?
It could go either way. We could do a restaurant license or a tavern. But a tavern, well, I'd let the attorney explain the difference between the two.
Yeah, and that's what I'm at. I guess that's what I'm asking
that's
for.
what I need some
Instead of my-
There's a
clarification
lot
on the
of,
difference.
right,
Me
there's a lot of
fumbling through it,
layers.
let her do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So based on what you're saying today with your business structure, there is a class of license that would be appropriate, that would allow a full pour, and that's the Class Triple E. So what that is it authorizes the sale, a full liquor sale to patrons at tables at the business, and they're to be served if they're seated at a table. And it's only to be consumed, liquor's only going to be consumed in the portion of the premises described in the license in which food is ordered and served to patrons, and it's part of the food ordered by and served to patrons. And then there's a requirement that the sale of liquor has to produce less than 50% of the total gross receipts of your restaurant. So that would be the class for restaurant. There's a couple different E's. There's a double E is restaurant for beer and wine only. The triple E is restaurant unrestricted, and then there's the quadruple E, but that wouldn't allow video gaming.
Right.
And then the other classification, so you have I believe, a
Triple
triple
A.
A. So that's beer and wine only, and that allows for on-premises consumption, and then sale of beer and wine for, in original packages for consumption off the premises.
Right.
And then there's also a double A, and that's the tavern, that's the full pour. But it's not for a restaurant business. That would be, that's for a bar.
So I guess where the confusion would come in for me, I mean, I get what you're saying about the restaurant portion of it. So in a tavern, I mean, let's just say the Mitos, for example, they do serve food in there, but then they also have a full pour. So I guess that's where I'm guessing, because they have, I feel like, a full menu in Demitos if I'm not.
Tavern, the essential difference would be a tavern, your primary business is serving alcohol.
Got you.
A restaurant, your primary business is serving food.
Right.
In your case, you have wonderful sandwiches, you have a spectacular menu. I've been in there, believe it or
Right.
not, and I love it. I just don't get over there very often. But I don't know why you were put into a tavern. I can't read into that.
Oh, you mean originally? Now I see what you're saying. Why I originally was put into a tavern when I didn't even have a bar when I first opened.
Exactly.
Got you. That makes sense. Because now if I was put into just the restaurant license, I can't tell you that I'm not gonna, out of 5 customers that walk in, at least 3 of them are asking for, where I would have a full pour. So I couldn't tell you that it wouldn't balance out now if I had a full pour that, I'm not saying I would be a full tavern, but I'm also, you know, I couldn't say what my liquor sales would be versus my food sales because I don't know.
And that triple E would allow liquor sales to people who are sitting down and having a meal.
Okay, it's just not gonna, it would just then change basically where I'm not selling liquor off premise,
Right.
correct?
Well, you could still do package sales if that was what you wanted.
Not with the
no.
Class
Now
E,
with- now with Tripoli,
not with the triple E, no.
one of them I thought allowed it.
No, only the tavern licenses, I believe, allow that.
Okay. Yeah, Commissioner King?
There's, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name?
Nystrom.
Nystrom, Ms. Nystrom, there's also a Class I restaurant, sit-down bar, unrestricted Class I licenses shall authorize the sale of retail of alcoholic liquor in restaurants to patrons, to the same to be consumed on patrons only at tables and at a bar. If she has a bar, would a Class I be appropriate, or no?
That would be appropriate as well, so you still have to have the restaurant. So you would have your restaurant portion and then the bar. But
Yeah.
it's to, so your patrons would have to be, sitting at the bar or sitting at tables.
Right, yeah, that would make
Standing
more
room
sense.
only.
Yeah, that would make more sense to me because obviously, what if somebody came in and they just wanted to have a cocktail and they didn't want to have, a meatball sandwich, let's just say. So I could still, how would I tell them, well, I can't serve you unless you're ordering food? So I think the Class I me personally thinks that's what I would be asking for at this point,
Right.
based on what you've explained off of the different classes.
And I believe they're those licenses, I have to look again because they just changed them all, but I think those licenses are less expensive than the tavern licenses.
they
So it
are.
would save you some money as well.
The Class I is less money.
Then, yeah, the tavern license is 9,000. That much I know.
And-
So
The full pour.
the full pour is 9,000, right? I just paid 5,700 for mine.
Well, right, and the restaurant.
And that's for the AAA.
So the two classes, the triple E would be, the annual fee would be 7,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then the I is $8,250.
Okay.
So they're both, 8,200.
Commissioner, I saw a hand up there.
Yeah, I was going to ask the price difference. The other clarification, I just wanted to make sure I understood too. So this Class I allows gaming as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make
Thank
sure
you, I
that we
appreciate that,
have that
yes.
still,
Yeah.
right?
No, no, no,
Because,
we're-
It's hard when we don't
Shift.
have it listed in front of us, so
right,
yes.
and that's why I just want to make sure that we're all understanding, so.
Right.
And then just to clarify, then I think your last statement then would just be, it is obviously more than the one she's currently on, because we're adding the full pour, but the I is less than the triple E, which was previously recommended. So yes, it's an increase off of your current base, but less than the other alternative, correct? Is that, I just want to make sure I'm
Yes.
understanding how it falls.
Yep.
Okay.
And so the only difference then, just so we're clear, I'm clear, between I and triple E is that, or I and full pour, which is double A, is that what it is?
Double A, yes.
Okay, so the only difference between those two is that one's called a tavern and one's basically a restaurant
Right.
/ tavern, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And then with the, sorry,
Commissioner King?
with the I license, the way I read it, and Ms. Nystrom can confirm, with the I license, 50%, greater than 50% of your revenue has to come from food sales, because that's a restaurant license. Is that
It still
correct?
applies.
Correct, yes.
And I should also point out that we realize this is all confusing too.
Yeah.
It's confusing to us. So we're gonna be looking over the next couple of months to reduce the different classifications.
Yeah, there's a
and make
lot.
them a little more logical.
Right.
And understandable. So Commissioner,
We're just full of questions over here. So the other question, I guess, is, so again, and what I'm hearing is you're uncertain, right, if you're going to meet that threshold. So I guess my question or clarification would be, what happens, let's say, if it's a 55-45 split in favor of alcohol? I mean, for me to understand as someone on this commission, what does that result in? Does that mean we revisit this next year again? We reconsider the license? Is there a fee? I mean, I would just... Those are things that we're trying to project,
I don't think
essentially.
the I has that restriction.
It does, okay. Does it or does it not? Have a-
You cannot, the sale of liquor has to be less than 50% of your
Okay.
total gross
On the eye?
receipts. For the eye as well.
Okay. So then
That's
what?
what, it's, that deserves clarification in our code, though.
Yeah, that's just
way it's
very,
written.
yeah, that's very confusing, because then I would be paying $82.50 for the eye, let's just say, so to speak, and then for the full pour, that's a tavern, is $9,000, so, I mean, yeah, I get it.
You're not a tavern.
No, but I'm just saying, so with that 50%, it's confusing, as he said, because how do we know what it's gonna be? I don't know, I'm
Projecting.
always, how am I gonna project when I don't know? I mean, I think that it would probably, stay at the 50% for food sales, obviously, but how do you project that when you don't know? That's,
Right, but you've always been a restaurant when you,
Correct.
I remember the night when you came and asked the board for the beer and wine, and you said, we had these sandwiches, and we're a deli, and sometimes people want a beer with their sandwich, which made all the sense in the world to me.
correct. Well, because we only had the deli portion, and to be honest, liquor wasn't even, our liquor sales was very low when we were just on the one side. But now, when you have a bar and patrons come in, obviously, they sit down at a bar and they order, an old fashioned, and I say, we only have beer and wine. I mean, it just gets a little confusing because we do have a full bar and we have the whole restaurant as well. So, it is a little confusing, but like, as I said, it does, I mean, when you don't have a full pour and people are coming in and they're having a dinner, I mean, I definitely think I'm gonna attract a lot more people to eat dinners because they can drink, that's just the way it goes, that's life. So I don't know, that's where the projection of the sales is a little confusing.
Well, in my mind, you were given a license as a deli, as a restaurant.
Well, I was giving a
Maintained
tavern.
that all, well, but you were given it as a deli. You represented, you were a deli.
Right.
You sold yourself as a deli that wanted to serve sandwiches and
Correct.
alcohol with them.
Correct.
So I think the license should continue, it should be in that direction. I think it should continue to
The
be
eye.
what you stated all along, which is fantastic,
Right.
that you're a restaurant, a deli, and you have alcohol as well, and that's fine.
Right. Well, yes, because the makes it so that you could sit at the bar and have a drink, or you can have dinner and have a drink. So it can go both ways.
Yes.
It's just like you said, clarification is if your sales are projected at this and it goes over, then what happens? Do you revisit it, or do you?
There's a difference between if it's a once in a while thing or it's a every month thing,
Right.
so,
I guess you'd have to visit that if that's,
yeah. But Commissioner Weiss, you have anything to?
No, I think one of the restaurant ones, so you can get your full pour, would make the most sense in my opinion. As for the 50%, I guess, we'd have to see if that became an issue. You
Right.
can't tell, some months are gonna be higher than others. I don't think any of us would see it as an issue. We do need to clarify that, I think, as we revamp these.
Right.
Sure.
But I don't see a problem with you changing to a restaurant license, so I think it's a disservice that you were given an incorrect license. But, yeah, I have no issues recommending that.
And I'm not even sure what licenses were actually available at
Yeah.
the time that you got your license, because they've created a lot of licenses in the last couple of years. And that's
Yeah.
part of why there's a little bit of confusion, where these look very, very similar, and it's hard to discern the difference between them. So, and that's part of why we're gonna be looking to clean them up in the next few months and try and whittle them down. to
Right.
Something that's more manageable. Anybody else have any questions?
So moving forward, would we make a recommendation to the village board that Mortadelli apply for a Class I license?
Actually, no.
Or to you, sorry.
No, we, as a commission, can't make that type of motion to the board.
We're recommending-
Unless the applicant applies for that license
Right.
first.
Okay.
But
And then
to give her, yeah, forgive me, when we met the other day, I should have told you to fill out another application. I neglected to do that. But we're going to give you
I mean, yeah, because it's just I keep getting pushback for, like, the last meeting, I should have been on that up in front of you guys.
I
And then,
apologize for all the miscommunication.
in the meantime, it's revenue and income for our town and myself. And as you guys know, food cost is high. I mean, our weather's killing us right now. We want to stay here. We love it here. Everybody in this community, I mean, we get great feedback. I'm sure you guys do too. They love it. We don't want to go anywhere, but small business, it's hard to survive right now. It's not easy. So we're hoping just to,
I don't see why she couldn't amend her current application to an I.
Attorney?
I guess my thing is, does she want an I or a triple E? I think she needs to take a minute and think about what she's interested in before we push something on her.
Okay.
I do agree with you. Yes, that would be nice
Think
if I
about it and
could,
maybe
like,
look at it, the
Process.
but
actual.
I do appreciate the fact that if I am able to decide and then amend it instead of having to go
Reapply.
through all that, it would just
I
save
just don't want you to
time.
make a decision, say, yes,
No.
I want an I tonight, when we're just kind of throwing all of this
I
at you.
appreciate it, correct.
So I'd like you to think about it.
Thank you.
And then decide.
So, sorry, Ms. Nystrom, so the way I understand it, reading the ordinance, is that a triple E license would not allow for a bar, whereas an I license would allow for a bar.
Correct,
Right.
that is correct.
Right.
So
the
then,
eyes
yeah.
where you
Which
belong.
it feels like I'll raise my hand.
you're
Okay, there we go, yeah. It feels like the I is probably the appropriate one. So I think what I'm hearing right now is the question is time and process and an expediency, of course. So do we have clarity as to what that process would look like or timelines to ensure that we make sure that this goes before because again, we just make recommendations to the
Well,
board.
what I would, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we can let the attorney in.
Yeah, that's right. I would love to hear what you have to offer.
So procedure-wise, right now, since you currently have the AAA, you need to submit a new application for the I. And then what we would do is then that would be an agenda, so just like the last agenda item, that would be brought then before this commission to consider your application for the I and then vote to recommend or not recommend it. And then it would go before the full board. Because ultimately, right now, there's no liquor licenses available in that classification, so what it requires is a code amendment. So it would come before this board first, and then if they recommend approval, it would go before the village board for discussion, and then they would vote to, basically, the procedures, they would decrease the number of Class AAA and increase the number of Class I licenses to then issue you that class license, and it would be a transfer, so you'd turn in your old license if that was
Right.
approved, and then get the Class I.
But since she already has a license with an application on file, can we not vote to make the license change pending the submission of her application?
Prior to vote.
So that we don't have to
Right.
drag her out for another meeting?
Say, well, what's on the agenda right now is just discussion. So I would have her apply, and then
Okay,
for the next meeting.
all right.
So is there any reason though, because this is the second one that I've been to, and this should have been a
just there's
discussion at the
processes.
last meeting a month ago, so I'm just wondering if we can get some clarity for us small businesses in this type of situation, because now this is gonna push me back another 3 months, besides you knew that I was in front of the board in March. So it's just getting to be a little frustrating, because then after that, I still do have to come in front of the board, so.
Right, give me, how long?
And I apologize, I understand, but these are the processes that have to be conducted. And
But I
it's
should
just
have
also
been up for
state law as
discussion at the
well.
last meeting.
Well,
That's the only reason I'm saying it keeps getting
Doesn't,
postponed.
it kind of doesn't matter only because we can't change it.
Okay, so.
I'm not trying to
New
say.
application, but you
Yeah.
just said you forgot to tell me about the new application. I'm just, so fill out a new application?
Yes.
Okay.
so what can happen if we want to expedite this is that we create a special meeting of the liquor
Exactly,
control.
that's where I
That
was
was going to
going.
be my next ask.
That's where I was going. How long do we have to go through the whole background process and everything else, or?
No, because you do, as long as nothing, we would review your application as long as nothing's changing in terms of officers or owners, there wouldn't be any more fingerprint requirements. So it'd just be a simple review of
Okay.
your application and your updated, floor plan and your proposal, so, and that could be at a special meeting, so then it could go before the board sooner.
So really, all she needs to do is fill out the papers, and then we're done, as far as that portion of it.
Yes, just like you would apply for a regular, liquor
Correct.
license. So just an initial liquor license application, you would do that.
Okay.
Commissioner King?
So my question that I asked previously, can she take her existing application and amend it or revise it and resubmit it instead of filling out a whole new application?
She doesn't have a current application. Liquor licenses were issued for this year in January, and that application has processed in December. So it has to be a completely new application.
Okay, so this one that I'm looking at is a renewal application, so you should have to send in a new application. Okay.
Right. But what I'm going to suggest now, I assume that you can get the application filled out and turned in pretty fast,
Sure, I'll do it tomorrow.
okay? Does the commission want to set up a special meeting in the next, I don't know, week? Just to get together and vote on this?
I'm available. Is everyone else available or no?
Yeah, it just depends on the day and night.
Oh,
Time.
yeah, we gotta,
Sorry, I don't mean to be
I'll
rude, I'm
make
getting my
myself
phone out.
available to your schedule, yeah.
so is that the first week of February?
Anytime in the next 7 days, I would say, so that we can get it in front of the village board by their next meeting.
When is their next meeting?
The ninth.
2 weeks.
Actually, that's a good point. How does Tuesday, February 3rd, the evening looks?
Sure.
Okay, so that'll keep,
At what time?
well,
I mean, what other commissions are on?
nobody is on that time.
Oh, perfect.
So 7 PM is normally when this commission meets, so, and we normally meet on a Tuesday.
Okay.
So February 3rd, Tuesday, 7 PM, does that work?
Yep.
I would be unavailable. I have a conference in Durham, but I would just offer, as long as you have quorum, I
Yeah.
don't see why you wouldn't be able to do that without me, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I agree with what we've discussed. I seems appropriate. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as the application is processed appropriately, I don't need to be here. I just want to make sure we have quorum, because that would be a
But-
problem.
But just to, you would be in favor of
I would
that?
definitely be in favor of putting this forward again
Fair enough.
to the board, right? Because our power ends with that. But
Right.
yes, I just will not be able to vote, and I just want to make sure we have enough votes that it's official. That's all.
Right.
Thank you, I
So
appreciate
then,
that.
so then what we'll do is we will hold a special meeting on February 3rd at 7 PM.
Thank you.
It's Tuesday, and Mortadelli will be on that agenda for this. My recommendation, though, or my advice, is to make sure you submit that application prior to the 3rd.
Do it tomorrow.
At a time. That also gives our staff and the commission to review it, so that way if we have any further
Yeah.
questions.
To change anything, or if anything need to be corrected, yes. I'll have it done tomorrow by 5 PM and turned in. I can do that online, is that correct?
No,
I'll send you the form.
Perfect, okay.
I'll just do it when we're done.
Okay. I have to come in to get something notarized, so I can actually stop in the morning if that is easier. Perfect. I'll stop in the morning, get what I need notarized, and then get all the forms that I need. And if I have any questions, then I'll just shoot you a
Commissioner
email.
Weiss
So if we're meeting on the 3rd, the next board meeting,
is the 7th, 9th, I'm sorry.
the 9th, is Mortadelli going to be on there? Have
Yes.
you?
If
If we
this
approve it,
commission,
yeah.
if this commission approves making a recommendation to the village board, then yes, there's enough time for us to
Okay, I'm
get
just making
that
sure
for
we're not
approval
running
by the
into
board
any,
on the 9th.
okay.
And that's on the 9th, correct?
Julie, are
If
there
it-
any inspections or anything that have to be done? Does George need to go over there and look at anything, or, okay. So there's nothing that's gonna hold it down on that end? All right.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to do a special meeting. It helps. So thank you.
Yeah, and like I said, I realized that this has been a difficult process, and we're kind of figuring it out a
I
little
get
bit
it.
as well, so I
Well, that is
apologize.
another reason why I waited as long as I did, just so that everybody, I know things were changing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was gonna be, a lot of stuff going on, so I thought waiting would be
Sure.
better. So then we'll just plan on Tuesday, the 3rd at 7 PM here.
PM, yes.
And then I'll get all the paperwork turned in, and if I have any questions, I'll
Yeah,
have it done tomorrow, so that if there
that's-
is anything.
Tomorrow's the best move. That way,
Perfect.
if there's any questions, it can get fixed beforehand.
Sounds good. Thank you, I appreciate it.
My question for the commission, is there any further questions for Mortadelli before they leave? Anything else? Okay, any questions further for us?
No, I think,
If you can
What was
approach,
that? What's your name, please?
Joe Serpico.
I'm sorry?
Joe Serpico.
Okay.
So the I liquor license,
if you could just come up to the mic, so that way everybody can hear.
So for the I liquor license, you cannot stand with a drink in your hand, is that what you're saying?
No, it's not that specific.
Okay, I just was wondering because.
The
you said
idea
sit
is
down.
that, you know, like you go into Simon's, for example,
Sure.
and you order a glass of wine, you're seated. You're not like wandering around like you, if you were at Mahoney's. You know, that's the kind of the difference.
I would've-
It's a minor difference. You guys have tables and food and,
But on the bar side, so that's where I think I need to actually see like the exact wording of the license, because at that point, I mean, if you came into our restaurant, you know, I'm more to deli, on the deli side, you're not really gonna stand in there because it's, you know, you're seated. But on the bar side, I mean, you are gonna stand. People do stand now and have a beer and stand, or walk over to the like lounge area where they sit down, or, you know, I mean, how would you say if they're walking from the bar over to a machine? Is that like standing around? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know where that fine line is, and I don't wanna cross it.
Commissioner King, give me just a minute. I'm going to let our attorney answer the difference between the two one more time, just so
So
there's
tell me
a-
which two that I would be going between, just so that we can take all the other ones out of there, so it's not confusing.
So it'd either be the Class Triple E, and
Or
that's,
that doesn't,
and that's, right, so that's just the restaurant, and it would just be the tables. So there's,
that's not, yeah, so that wouldn't even be an option for me. So then the I,
the I is what we've been mostly discussing, so that is a sit-down restaurant with a bar, and that authorizes the sale of liquor, to all liquor to patrons, but it's to be consumed by the patrons only at tables or at a bar on the premises. So
So-
it's standing at, I mean, you could stand at the bar, sit at the bar.
right,
you
because
have
I mean,
seats.
there's a lot of people that don't sit when they're standing there having a drink, right, at the bar. Even at the bar, they'll push the chair away. So I don't want there to be a line that I'm not, you know, I need to
I
know.
don't, I mean, I don't see it as an issue.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I don't want to, obviously, I need to make sure I'm following the rules of what the license is.
No, I appreciate that.
stating,
No, I'm
but
glad you're asking the question.
It's hard when it's not clarified
Okay.
in front of me on paper.
So according to the pour license worksheet we were provided previously, for example, Crazy Pour operates under a Class I.
Right.
Okay, okay, so then that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been plenty of times I stand with my
That's-
drink
Yeah,
there.
it's kind of a distinction without a difference, I think.
I just don't want to, like I said, I want to make sure I'm following all the rules on there, and if there's
Appreciate
a
that,
line
yeah.
there, I'm not
That's
going
fantastic.
to get in trouble for something that,
So just to clarify, a few other businesses that are in Villa Park that are under the same classification of I, Allegra, El Barrio, Josephine's, Morisco's, Miramar, El Patron, Simon's, Crazy Pour, Trackside, Parlay, 5 O'Clock Bar.
okay. I mean, I know a few of them, but yeah, the Crazy Pour, then I understand.
So it's more so if you have, you know, you have a sit-down bar, so you have tables for your guests to sit at.
Right.
Bar.
Or chairs there for them
Chairs
to
for them to sit at.
I do. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right, you're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions or comments? No? No. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move along to commissioner comments. We'll start on my right. Commissioner King?
No comments for me, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Wagner?
No comments, thank you, though.
All right, on my left, Commissioner Weiss?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Commissioner DiTomaso?
Stay warm. And please, anybody that happens to be watching, check on neighbors, check on older people that you know, make sure that they're doing okay. We don't want them forgotten in this cold weather. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. And so just to clarify again, Tuesday, February 3rd, 7 PM, we'll have a special meeting, the Local Liquor Control Commission meeting with Mortadelli's license request on their application as well. And we ask that that paperwork be completed and submitted, so that way we have time to approve it or review it beforehand. And other than that, that's all I have. Do we have any village staff comments? All right, seeing none, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a
Second.
second? Commissioner
Oh,
King?
sorry.
All right.
Commissioner
I'll
Wagner.
let you have this one. Any discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 We are adjourned at 7:46 PM. Thank you.
Thank you.